Hi everyone, hello. How are you doing? I hope everyone is doing good. So, welcome to second last video of respiration and circulation. You must have become tired by this chapter. It's a very long chapter, but it's a very important chapter with respect to board point of view. So, I have covered almost 99% of all the topics in your textbook. Um, okay, with these recorded series. So you should also attempt to go through each and every video for better understanding and for your concepts to be cleared. Always give a supplementary reading of the textbook in addition to these videos that you are watching. Okay, and if any doubt arises, I am there always. You can always contact me. So in this video, we will be talking about the blood vessels, arteries, veins, and capillaries. You are aware what blood vessels are. You have been learning this from school days, 9th, 10th, and 11th also. Here we will talk about the structures and detail. Okay. Mota function you are aware of, that arteries carry oxygenated blood, veins carry deoxygenated blood, arteries and veins further branches out into smaller blood vessels which are known as capillaries. So these are basically, what do you mean by blood vessels? These blood vessels, they carry blood from the heart to different parts of the body, from different parts of the body to the heart. Okay, so we will do one by one. We will begin with arteries. Sorry. Yeah. So like this, from the heart to different parts of the body, and from the body to different parts of the heart. Sorry, from different parts of the heart to the body, arteries carry oxygenated blood. You see red. They can further branch out into these arteriole and capillary, and then veins also further branches out. And the deoxygenated blood is returned back to the heart. The heart will give it to the lungs, and the lungs will exhale carbon dioxide out. Then it will take in oxygen, and then oxygen rich blood will be pumped to different parts of the body via artery. Okay, so let's begin with arteries. Arteries are strong blood vessels. They are elastic in nature. They are doing what is the function? They are carrying blood away from the heart under high pressure. This is very important. Away from the heart under high pressure. Okay, because they carry oxygenated and they have to be pushed to different parts of the body. So the pressure of the artery, the blood pressure in the arteries will be high as compared to that of veins. You can see the diagram also. The diameter here is less and the diameter here is a bit more. Okay, they contain what? Oxygenated blood. Only in case of pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein, the concept is reversed. The pulmonary artery will carry deoxygenated blood and pulmonary vein will carry oxygenated blood. So otherwise, artery carry oxygenated blood except the pulmonary artery. Their smaller branches are known as arterioles, and the wall of the artery consists of three layers. That is what we are going to see in detail. So when we cut the artery, how does the wall of the artery looks like? So it has three layers: outer layer, inner layer, middle layer. Outer layer is known as tunica externa. Okay, it is known as tunica externa, made up of connective tissue. It is made up of connective tissue, irregular elastic and collagen fibers. These are all different types of connective tissue. These are white elastic fibers and yellow collagenous fibers, which give the tensile strength and strain to the arteries. Okay, so strong as well as at the same time flexible, kind of elastic in nature. External. It also contains minute vessels that give rise to capillaries and provide blood to more external cells of the artery wall. So even the artery walls, they will require blood for their activities to be carried out. So they will also have minute capillaries in it. Okay, tunica externa contains minute vessels that give rise to capillaries and provide blood to the more external cells of the artery walls. Then the middle layer, which is known as tunica, that was the external layer or the outer membrane or the outer layer. The middle layer is known as tunica media, which is mostly the major part of the arterial wall. As you can see, tunica externa is a bit thin, and tunica in media, this much thick it is. Okay, so this is your tunica media, this reddish one. Okay, and finally the tunica interna, the innermost layer. In between you have elastic and collagenous fiber over here. This is the khali jagah through which the blood will flow, which is known as lumen. So this is the blood vessel, and inside the hollow tubing through which the blood is flowing is your lumen. Okay, so middle layer tunica media. It is made up of smooth muscle fibers and thick layer of elastic connective tissue. Connective tissue is present why? To give elasticity, so that the high pressure with which the blood is flowing in the artery, that is properly maintained and there is no damage to the walls of the artery. So that elastic nature has to be there, and that is because of this connective tissues like elastin fibers and collagenous fibers. Okay, so connective tissue provides elasticity that will enable to withstand the force of the blood pressure and also to stretch. And the innermost layer or the covering or is the tunica interna, which is made up of simple squamous epithelium cells, which is also known as endothelium. Tunica interna ka endothelium is made up of squamous epithelial cells, simple squamous epithelial cells. We have all studied the structure and function of these different types of cells in 11th standard under animal tissue. Okay, epithelial type tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue. So you should have those bases, in your mind. It provides smooth surface for blood cells and platelets to flow. So your blood has all the white blood cells, red blood cells, thrombocytes. So for smooth flow ke liye, simple squamous epithelium makes up your innermost layer of the artery. Also, it prevents blood clotting by secreting biochemicals that inhibit platelet aggregation. Remember, we saw in the video of blood clotting or coagulation of blood, we saw if there is a hole or damage in the wall of the artery, so automatically all the thrombocytes, the platelet will come, and there will be certain secretions of the membrane of the layer itself, which will bring a clot or a plaque will be generated. Okay, so that is there. So basically, if there is any blood clotting, okay, that was in case of wound. So if there is any blood clotting taking place, so this tunica interna will secrete certain biochemicals which will get away with the accumulation of the blood. Okay, which might then lead to prevention of the blood flow. Okay, so that is another function of this endothelium. This is a bit contrary to the coagulation of the blood that we studied in the previous video. There there was damage to the wall, a hole was created, and then sort of that patch creation was because of the was by the mechanism of coagulation of blood. Here, if by chance any clotting happens at any place and buildup of cells happens, so to clear that, so that the flow of the blood is not prevented, that will be brought about by certain chemicals secreted by the endothelium. Okay, and also regulates blood flow by secreting substances that will either dilate, like relax, or constrict the blood vessels. So depending upon the pressure, sometimes the pressure is too high in the artery, sometimes it is a bit lower. That is because of the contraction of these arterial walls, or relaxation of the arterial walls, like contraction or dilation. Okay, as you can see my hand actions, contraction and dilation, relaxation. So that will also be maintained, that will also be regulated. The blood flow will be regulated by these endothelium of the tunica interna. Okay. So example I have mentioned over here, like endothelium will release nitric oxide gas, which will relax the smooth muscle of the vessel. Sometimes relaxation is also required. Okay. Then moving forward to veins, they will carry blood towards the heart from different parts of the body to the heart. Okay, artery were carrying blood from the heart to the different parts of the body. They are doing what? Carrying what? Deoxygenated blood. Okay, that is carbon dioxide rich blood, which will be brought to the lungs for oxygenation, except the pulmonary vein. Their smaller branches are known as venules. Smaller branches of arteries were known as arteriole. Smaller branches of veins are known as venules. Okay. Again, three layers over here: interna, endothelium, and the basement membrane, made up of the same tissues. Here there will be no elasticity, much elasticity as such. Okay, contains valve. As you can see over here, there is wall over here. There was no wall in artery. There is wall over here. Now why wall? So that backflow is prevented, because diameter of vein is much more and the blood is flowing under less pressure. The blood pressure, the blood is flowing under low pressure as compared to that of artery, so it doesn't move backward. So to prevent the backflow of the blood, these valves are there. The blood flow in arteries and veins is unidirectional. They will flow in one direction only. They will not flow from one to and fro. This does not happens. Okay, only in one direction. So in veins, to do that, uh, walls are there, and lumen is much larger than the artery. Okay, and then the middle layer, which is thinner. In artery, the middle layer was very thick. Because why thick? So that the diameter becomes narrower and the blood flows under pressure. Here the lumen is thick because the tunica media is thin, so the blood is flowing at a comparatively relaxed state. No elasticity as such, and the tunica externa is the thickest of all the three layers that we have discussed. Okay, so this is about the veins. Moving to the capillaries. Okay, when the further veins and arteries, arterioles and venules they branch out, this is capillaries. Okay, capillary are simply made up of these endothelial cells, and then you can see the arrow over here. These are minute pores or slit, you can say, opening, slit or opening or minute pores, which will allow certain cells, certain fluids to, move out of the capillaries in this direction. Okay, so capillaries are smallest diameter blood vessel, smallest diameter blood vessel, very small, very minute, smallest arterioles and smallest vein. They will connect the smallest arteriole and smallest vein. Extensions of the inner linings of the arterioles. So the inner lining, that endothelium, that is extended, and they make up the capillaries, endothelial in nature. They have only one layer, that is the endothelium, single layer of epithelial squamous cell. Okay, and they are semi-permeable membranes. They form the semi-permeable layer through which substances or molecules or fluid can go in and out of the blood and the tissue fluid which is surrounding these capillaries. Okay, this is the difference between the both arteries and veins that we have just discussed. You can have this for your revision, and whenever you are sitting to study, you can keep this in front of you and do a comparison. One of the most commonly asked question in exam, the difference between artery and vein and capillary. So you have the types over here, and then you have the function. Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you, take care, bye bye. In the last video we will be talking about the disorders of the respiratory system, which is very simple. Sorry, circulatory system, like heart attack, uh, high blood pressure. So I will make a very short video on that. You can read from a textbook also as well. So that's all. Keep revising. The See you in the next video with a new chapter. Take care, bye.